Hi, I'm Sonia Lucky. Have you ever had an experience where you get like a voice in the back of your head telling you something, or maybe a feeling in the pit of your stomach that stops you from maybe moving forward on something important? I want to share a story with you. I was having a conversation with a friend who I will call Nathan. And Nathan is a fantastic guy. He has been evolving a new business and doing some course recordings and just really flowering and just expanding in a really fantastic way. Well, Nathan has also some depression, and he had a depressive episode, as kind of happens with a lot of us. You just have a couple of bad days or whatever that is. And he got through it. He's got great tools for that, which we can talk about another time. But he gets through this depressive episode, and he's getting back to work on his new business that he's expanding. And he goes to start a new recording. He's making a video, and he gets this niggling voice in his head of like, who are you to be doing this? What's this going on? Like, all this negative talk starts in here. And then he gets this feeling like in the pit of his stomach. And so now what? Like, what's the next step when something like that happens? So let's break it down a little bit. That let's start with the little voice, right? We know that we are made up of our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. What we think, what we feel, basically determines what we're going to do next. And so if somebody has been on a great upward trajectory and then suddenly starts getting this voice, this nagging voice, or if, yeah, let's start there, the nagging voice, right? So the brain is starting to say, well, who are you to be doing this? You're going to fail, or you're going to look like a fool, or whatever that negative self-talk looks like. We know that can look lots of different ways. And then, like you get confirmation from the body by having a feeling in the pit of your stomach of getting like butterflies, or maybe even feeling nauseous, or there's a lot of different ways that that can look too. So now you've got these two sources of information coming in saying, hey, you don't really want to be moving forward with this. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And your options are to push through and keep going and just ignore all that, or two, listen to what your body's telling you and saying, you're right. We're going to stop it here. No more change, no other progression, and just leave it at that. So that voice in your head, sometimes we call it the ego, is actually there for a purpose. In the past, I mean, everything that you've done in your life has gotten you here to where you are today. So in the past, that thinking and those thoughts had a purpose to keep you moving forward in a certain way, to keep you safe. It helps you get to whatever it is that you've created in your life. Up to now, it's been useful. And so have the feelings that go along. So when you get a feeling in your stomach, or you start feeling butterflies, or some kind of a warning flag goes up in your body, that also has a purpose. And if you sit down and think about that, or have a little conversation like I like to do sometimes, it's like, okay, first step, acknowledge, what is it that's happening? It's like, I'm having these thoughts, I'm having these feelings. What's that all about? And you can say to yourself, self, or little ego, or little voice, whatever you want to call it, what is this? I'm having these feelings, I'm having these thoughts. What does that mean? And actually have a little dialogue. And if you do that, a lot of times what the little self will come back to you and say, I'm telling you these thoughts, and I'm telling you, this is a warning. I'm telling you that we haven't thought this way before. We haven't done this stuff before. And so I'm giving you a big flag that this is unknown territory, could be dangerous. Don't do it. So I'm going to put that message forward in whatever way it takes to get you to stop and pay attention and not do that new thing, because that's not what we do. We do this, whatever the former behavior was. And you talk to that feeling, like, what is this? pit in my stomach. Like, what is it that you're trying to tell me? And it might say, I'm trying to give you a warning that you're about to do something crazy. You're about to go out and walk on a stage and put yourself in front of hundreds of people. You're about to say stuff that maybe is our new ideas that people aren't used to. And I'm trying to stop you from that crazy stuff because this is not what we do. We're used to doing this other thing. And I'm trying to get you back into safe waters, into safe territory, and doing what's comfortable and doing what's familiar, because that's how we've always operated. And that's how I'm going to stay safe. So it's your body. That's what your body and your mind are trying to do. They're a lot of times trying to keep you in familiar territory, in a safe place, because that's what we've done before. Even if that done before and place that you used to be in this box that it wants to keep you in, even if it was a job that you hate or a relationship that you're not familiar with or some other choice that you want to get out of, some situation, but it's like it's familiar, and the body for a lot of people, and this is kind of human nature and the brain works this way, the body would rather stay in what's comfortable and known than move into something that's new and unknown and take that risk. So now that you know that, what can you do? First of all, acknowledge, thank you very much for trying to keep me safe. I get that you know that this is where I used to be, and I'm making a conscious decision. I meaning the mind that is now going to be in charge, the presence that's going to be in charge. I'm making some new decisions here. So thank you for letting me know that things are uncomfortable. It's going to change, and that's okay. So you set that new boundary, that new level for yourself. But here's the other kicker that will really help. Sit down with that little voice and say, thank you very much for all the work that you've done and everything that you've done to try to keep me safe. You have gotten really good at giving me information and maybe a couple of warning signals. So, how about we repurpose that function that you had and let's use it for something new and different and give it another job. So let that little ego run around and go let it be manager of something that's not going to get in your way, that's not going to slow you down. Or, it's like, here's the new bar, warn me if this happens. But in the meantime, we're moving forward. And that way you're able to keep going and keep rising and help keep growing and expanding that beautiful spiritual self on a conscious and unconscious level, moving forward together. Thanks very much. I'm Sonia Lecky. Have a great day.